Hey, welcome back to How to Barbecue Right. I'm Malcolm Reed. Y'all, I got an idea I want to try today. Now, I've never made this recipe, but I'm going to call it my spicy Greek ribs. Instead of doing something sweet, we're going savory. Herbs, seasonings, a little spice. When we wrap them, I'm going to put a little Greek marinade in there with some butter, get us some extra fat. And then at the very end, when I take them out of that wrap, they're super tender. We're going to char grill them to get us some nice little caramelization going on the outside. No sugar, no sweet. All flavor today, y'all. Let's get to cooking. Y'all, I found some really good looking ribs at my local grocery store. I mean, y'all check these bones out. Them jokers are straight as they could be. That's what I want to see when I'm picking out ribs. If you dig through those bins in the store, you can find some gems in there, I promise you. So these ribs were froze when I bought them. I let them slow thaw in the refrigerator, took them out of that package, blotted them off with a paper towel to get some of that excess moisture off, jerked the membrane off the backside, trimmed that flat meat off of them, and just squared the racks of ribs up. Now I flipped them over to the meat side, and on the end where it's a little fatty, I always trim a little bit of that off. That's kind of connective tissue you see new. It's not really going to render, so if you'll go ahead and take it off, it'll make a better eating rib. We're ready to season now. The first thing I'm going to do is add a little bit of red wine vinegar. I want a little bite on them. I want a little moisture. That's going to help my seasoning stick. We're going for savory on these ribs. Now we're ready for some seasoning. Cracked black pepper, kosher salt, and then I'm going for that spicy Greek Gyro hero seasoning. If you got a favorite Mediterranean Greek style seasoning, go ahead and use it here. It'll work. I'm going with this Gyro hero today. All we're going to do, shake them on down, y'all. Put that flavors to it. That looks good to me. We're going to flip them over, do the exact same thing to the meat side. A little vinegar. It don't take much vinegar. Cracked black pepper, a little salt right over that. Then we need that Greek seasoning, y'all. Let's start on this one. Just put a nice layer on it. Not super heavy. Now I'm just gonna let them hang out here on my cutting board. I'm gonna go fire up the Primo grill. Now to get the Primo fired up, got a couple tumbleweeds going down in the bottom, chimney full of Royal Oak briquettes. We're just gonna get those briquettes good and hot, and then I'm gonna dump them and spread them out right in the bottom of that fire grate. I'm gonna add a few more unlit briquettes because I want enough charcoal to carry me through this cook. We're gonna put the heat deflectors in place, set the cooking grates on, and close the lid, just let the smoker stabilize. I'm gonna set the vents to where they're open about 1.5 inches, top and bottom. That's gonna bring us up to about 275. That's where I wanna be to cook these ribs today. It took about 20-30 minutes for that grill to come up and stabilize. Plenty of time to let those seasonings start adhering to this meat. We're ready to put them on right now, so I'm just gonna grab them and we're gonna take them over to the grill. So we still got us a little smoke rolling from that Royal Oak. I'm not adding any extra wood. If you wanted to, you could, but I'm really going for that grilled flavor. We're just gonna place these ribs right on the rack over the deflector plate. I want that indirect heat. Trying to square them up a little bit. That's how they're gonna cook, y'all, so straighten your ribs up. That looks good. We're ready to close the lid, let it smoke. All right, y'all, it's been a little over an hour, and I wanna take a peek at these ribs and see how they're doing. So let's check them out. It might be a little dark, but man, we're starting to get some good color. I can still see my seasoning, and I don't normally do this, but on these ribs, I wanna get some color on the other side too, so I want them on the grate. So let's look at the back side and check this out. We're starting to get some really good color. Bones starting to pull back. We're gonna be ready to wrap in probably another 30 minutes. So I'm gonna flip them over and look at that. That's some good looking Greek style ribs. They're coming on, man. Be long and I can get them tender. All right, after another 30 minutes, y'all, we got to look at these ribs. You got great pullback. Color is looking amazing. Let's see what our meat side's doing. Oh, yeah. Oh, you know what? We're going to let these hang out just a few minutes. I'm going to go make my vinaigrette that's going in the wrap, and we're going to get these dudes super tender. I'm going to start with 1 lemon, squeeze the juice out of it. Try to keep the seeds out if you can. Man, I didn't have no seeds. I must have bought seedless lemons. Put the old hand on it and give it a good squeeze. That's gonna give us some brightness, some acidity. Then I've got some herbs. We've got a little oregano, a little parsley, a little thyme, all chopped up. Now the only sugar I'm using in this whole recipe is a little bit of honey to balance it out just a little. But it is gonna make this vinaigrette a little more palatable, just balanced. And I just squeezed it. If I had to guess, maybe 2 teaspoons. We're gonna add a little bit of red wine vinegar. Then we're gonna drizzle in some olive oil, just bring it together. The last thing I'm gonna do, put some of that Gyro Hero in it. We need some flavor, fortify it. And that's gonna be perfect for 2 slabs. You don't need a whole lot of liquid. I'm just gonna grab one at a time, but go ahead and close your door. You don't want your fire to get away from you. Ooh, look at that rib. I mean, it almost looks good enough to eat. Smells fantastic. Fantastic. So now I want to wrap these ribs to get them really tender. And I always start with a double layer of foil, just in case a bone pushes through. It gives you a little extra added protection. Now, when I wrap, I always go meat down. I want to put just a little bit of our wrap liquid on here, and our wrap liquid could be anything you want. Today I'm using this Greek kind of vinaigrette going, but I just want to get some of that liquid down. Then I'm going to flip it over, and we're going to put about half a stick of butter right on the back of these ribs. That's going to melt down, give us some more added fat, because y'all know fat's good. We're going to pour a little bit more of that marinade we whipped up on it, save about half for the next rack. All those fresh herbs, that lemon juice, that vinegar. Now, all you do, bring your foil over and kind of wrap it down. You want everything to stay in that foil. Flip the other end over, makes it easy to get right back into them. Crimp the end and then flip it all the way to the meat. That way you know you can get right back in it easy. Put it right back on the pit. So I'm gonna put these back in that same spot, grab this other rack, shut the lid. Ooh, those things are pretty. I mean, we've got that look, seasoning completely stuck to them. Pullback started to happen. Backside looks as good as the front side. We're going right back on with our second rack. Make sure you got enough airflow, not doing anything to the heat, let it stay where it is. We want them to get tender. These ribs have been rolling in the wrap for about an hour, and this is where I want to start looking at them because we had some good bone pullback. I don't want them to get too far ahead on me. We're gonna lose some color in the wrap. It always happens. Our little wrap job lets us get back in them real easy. And you just want to unfold them. I know it's gonna let the steam out, but we gotta check them. Oh yeah, we are looking good. We got that bone pullback. Look at that, 208, 206 right in there. I think they're done right here at the hour mark. I mean, we've been rocking and rolling them. I'm gonna pull them off and they're gonna need to rest a little while. So let me wrap this one back up. Try not to lose my juice because I got a plan for that. Now let's check this one too. Get that facial going. Oh yeah, we're looking good. We got that pullback, that disintegration. Oh yeah, we're sitting at about the same place, 208. It feels really soft, that's what I wanna see. These ribs are tender, y'all. Now we're just gonna set them to the side and let them rest a little bit. I'm gonna rearrange this grill, show y'all what we're gonna do to them next. I was cooking indirect on this Primo, and with this grill, I'm gonna pull these deflectors out. It's gonna let me get access to the charcoal below it. If I need to add some more, I can, but I wanna get it set up so I can char grill them. Now, if you're doing this recipe on another pit, just get you a charcoal grill over to the side going and get you some hot coals. It might take about 20 minutes, and that's the perfect time for those ribs to rest. So let me do a little rearranging here. Wear some heat protection gloves. I'm just gonna set the deflectors off to the side right now. They are hot. Oh, I still got a good coal bed going. Put this back in place. I'm not gonna mess with the vents because I got a good fire going. I can open it up, let some air in, and it's gonna make it flame. So just shut the lid back. Now, I've never done this before, but I got an idea. I got all this good rib juice in here. Now, most time we just throw it away. But today, I'm gonna ease this wrap open a little bit, and I'm gonna try to pour it out here and catch it. Look at that. Butter, that Greek vinaigrette we put together, the seasoning, and I'm still gonna let my ribs stay in here covered up. Tuck them back up. But what I'm gonna do is take these ribs, put them on that grill, and baste them with all this buttery marinade seasonings that we got in there, and that's going to give us some flavor on top. And instead of glazing them and putting something sweet on them, we're going to have some savory goodness right here. Just lock them back down. If I unwrapped them and took them out right now, they might fall apart on me. I want them to lock up a little bit. That's going to help me transfer them back to the grill and let me cook them on both sides to get a little char action going. I got to try this first, make sure it tastes good. If it don't taste good, I ain't going to use it. Oh, buttery, all those kind of Mediterranean flavors. That's what I get. It's got a little pork flavor because that fat's rendered out in it, but it tastes good. It's not too smoky or anything. I was kind of worried about that, but I guess it can't penetrate that foil, so that's good stuff. I might be onto something there. It's been about 15 minutes. I think them ribs have rested long enough. I'm gonna open this Primo up. We're gonna char grill these ribs one rack at a time so I can show you what I'm doing here. And I'm gonna carefully, because I know they're tender, ease under here and pick them up. Now I got my little handy measuring cup with all that liquid goodness, and I'm just gonna brush these things. I'm not really touching them, I'm just letting it kind of drain on them. And then what I'm gonna do, see how that flames up like that? That's what I want. But I'm gonna flip them over. You don't wanna walk away long from them. Now, I ain't really done this before. It's a total experiment, but it can't be bad, y'all. The butter's hitting down in there, making it kick up, getting some char on the bottom side of this rib. I'm not gonna shut the lid, walk away or nothing. I'm gonna let it stay hot. Get you some cotton gloves and some nitrils on top so you can handle this meat. We're gonna let it char a little bit. Instead of glazing them, I'm gonna have that grilled flavor over that good Royal Oak charcoal. Looks pretty good to me, y'all. Smells even better. Let's flip them over. I'm just gonna keep doing that. Flipping, letting them cook a little bit. Flipping, letting them cook a little bit. And while I got them over, I'm gonna grab my seasoning. I'm gonna fortify them flavors. A little more of that Gyro spicy Greek on the outside. Ooh, now that's aroma right there. That seasoning hit down in that hot coals and come up. Smells like I'm at the fair finna get me one of them sausages or gyros. That's good stuff. That's the smell that draws me in. I'm gonna pour the rest of this juice, put it in there right over the top. I ain't wasting it today, y'all. I bet you I need to flip because I don't wanna burn that backside up. I'm gonna lose that bone probably before it's over. That's okay though. Whoa, look at that. Burger King ain't got nothing on these ribs. Get some char action on the backside. I hadn't seasoned that backside yet, so let me go ahead and hit them with a little more seasoning there. Opa. A little more of that drizzle. What I like about that butter and that oil in there is when I drizzle it right over the edge, it makes it flame up. So it'll come up and flame, kiss that meat. If you want to draw a crowd in, flame grill those ribs at the end and watch what it smells like and brings the people to you. Neighbors will love you. I'm gonna give them another flip here. Burn my arm hair, but we're starting to get there. We're starting to get that char, that sizzle over the top. So we've done about 2 minutes on each side. I'm gonna go another 2 minutes and it's gonna get all charred up. Time to flip them back over. Get us some more char going. All right, let's flip them one more again, see where we at. Ooh, that's it. That's it, y'all. Look at this. Chargrilled spicy Greek style spare rib. I don't know what it tastes like, but it looks and it smells absolutely phenomenal. I'm gonna set them to the side. I'm gonna do this other rack. All right, after several flips on this second slab, I'm calling them too. I'm gonna ease under there and pick them up. Beautiful char on them. Smelling so good in the smokehouse, y'all. Let's take these over to the cutting board. Well, Primo did a good job today. I've done sat here and smelt these ribs all day cooking on that Primo grill. Put them over the hot coals and basted them with that rib juice and made it flame up. I don't know, that's got me thinking, what would it be like to char grill ribs the whole time like that? You gotta stay with it, you'd have to turn them, but y'all might see that coming. If these are good, I got me a knife, let me cut some of them up. I'm just gonna lay them down where I can see what I'm doing. I'm gonna leave that old hanger bone on. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. Knife is gliding right through it. Long bones. Let's flip them back over. You get some smoke ring action. I see some pink there. It's not heavy, but I didn't use smoke. I wanted that char grilled flavor. I knew I was gonna be putting them over that charcoal there at the very end, but I still got some good smoke action. And they are juicy. When I squeeze them a little bit, I don't like squeezing them too much. I want that juice in my mouth. But look how much where that fat's rendered in them pockets and you get all that meat. Now the most important, what does it taste like? Let's go in that top and get some of that char. A little crunchy on top. It's not bark. It's like a little crust that forms from grilling it like that. Totally grilled flavor. Greek herbs, Greek spices, a little bit of heat, but I taste the citrus. I can get the acidity from the vinegar that we used. And they're tender. One bite, perfect. That's a good rib, y'all. Yeah, I'm gonna eat the whole thing. I'm probably gonna eat a couple more. That's good. Y'all, I'm calling this little rib experiment a total success. These things are delicious. Thanks for hanging out with us today here at How to Barbecue Right. If y'all like what we're doing, subscribe to that channel. We're gonna be putting out these videos all year long. You know, you can find us on all the socials. And Shell and I are gonna talk about these spicy Greek ribs on our next podcast. Y'all check the podcast out and give that a listen too. We'll see you next time. I love that outside. It's so good. It's crispy but tender. Where you been all my life?